Hey everybody out there, my name is Dragnix, and this is going to be a little bit of a ramble, rant, first impressions for Mortal Kombat X. I know it's not a game that came out today. This day has been a little bit void in terms of releases, and you know, I was waiting for Night of the Hamsters to release, to maybe do that one. It hasn't released yet, and I need to get working on something. I do want to give my thoughts on Mortal Kombat X, because I do think it's a good game. There have been some questionable decisions made by the developer, however, and I want to sort of go into them a little bit as well. Granted, I'm not a very good Mortal Kombat player. I'm very much I don't want to say smash 'em button style, but I'm not very good technically. You know, all combos, things like that. I like playing random. I just like playing for the hell of it. I will come back. Now, let's talk about Mortal Kombat X from a first impressions level. I like it. I definitely loved when NetherRealm took over the the series itself. I also like the fact that NetherRealm focuses on story a little bit more. I really enjoyed Mortal Kombat 9's story, and I also enjoyed Injustice's story, and I love the fact that, again, we're back to, you know, fighting games actually have a story that means something, which is nice. But this one in particular with the new characters, I think they're fleshed out a little bit better. I think even though there are some decisions that, you know, may piss off fans, like, you know, they went with not the normal Scorpion, I would say. Maybe in the comics that he'd be a little bit more of what they would expect, but he's definitely not exactly what you would consider classic Scorpion in the story mode. But I like the themes that it's creating. I like the fact that it's not afraid to have characters that, you know, are new and interesting, but not only that, you know, bring back some characters that, you know, fan favorites, and not bring back fan favorites. I think that's a hard decision to make at times. I know Jade's not in the game, for example. Let's do an X-ray here. And I know a lot of people don't like that. I like the fact that they actually made the decision, yeah, we're not going to have them at this point. Because, I mean, it's one of those situations where it's like you can't please everybody. All right, what's the... Okay, I'm not doing an easy fatality. Why? Okay. There we go. Let's see what this one is. You don't have any hips, and... Oh, that would be all your parts. Well then, I don't want to clean that. I would hate to be the person who cleans up this mess. So, from a fighting standpoint, I also like it, especially with the twist on gameplay. I love the new variation system. And if you don't know what the variation system is, basically, when I choose a character, let's choose a character that I know I can play. Let's play Sonya. You could choose a variation, which will give you some sort of special portion to it. Whether I get, you know, a different move, or explosive grenades, or a special drone, it changes up gameplay in terms of the styles in question. And I do like that. A character that you face online doesn't necessarily have to be the character that you expect him to be. Like, you know, if you saw Ryu in Street Fighter 4, for example, you're probably going to have a zoning character. But in this game, if you see a Johnny Cage, it doesn't necessarily mean a rushdown character. And that's what I love about it. I love the fact that characters can play differently, and you can sort of respond to things. I also like the new character designs. I think they did reasonable in terms of everything along that line. Honestly, there's a lot of good things about the game in terms of execution and just playing good game design. It's not anything like over-the-top special, but it didn't need to be. It needed to be something that was an incremental part of the series. Did I just flawless? Oh, okay, I flawlessed. Excellent. I completely meant to do that. That was completely in what I was expecting. Now, you do notice some frame rate drops, and I've noticed some performance issues on the PC from time to time. Generally, it's all right, but when, like, loading up the first cutscene, for example, or in particular, a particular action sequence with a first fight in the story mode, it can go pretty slow. It's like the machine is, like, waiting to load something. There we go. Ow, that looks like it hurt. Let's pause this for a second so I know what my let right trigger. Okay, I think I can do this. Now I will get to the easy fatalities thing in a bit. Oh, brutality!
Spoiler alert, you lose.
Spoiler alert, you lost your head. This is going pretty well, actually. I was expecting to lose more at this point. Apparently talking while I'm fighting makes me do better? That's a new one. But let's get into more of the controversy, because I don't think I need to tell you that Mortal Kombat X is a good game. You could probably... Oh, I'm playing Sonya again. From random. Cool. Let's talk about some of the controversies that Mortal Kombat X has gone over in the PC version. First of all, we've got the whole installation problem. Now, Mortal Kombat X released on Tuesday at midnight, and it wasn't exactly working, to say the least. That in itself is a problem. People could load the game, but they couldn't play it. It was revealed later on that it was a streaming service installation problem, that it just didn't work, and it was on Steam, in which you know, it's their fault in terms of what happened, which that's at least what NetherRealm says. Now, I've got some issues with what NetherRealm has said about it. First of all, the streaming services, they talk to it like it's the first time the streaming service has been used, and in particular, it was a new installation. Like, this is a whole new service that they've had. From what I see, it's using the DLC service that they've used before. For things like Resident Evil Revelations 2, you know, DLC of any type. So that the idea would be that you could start playing the game and it would download content in the background. Now, the thing is that what I see from NetherRealm's implementation of it is the fact that they chose what parts needed to be there as part of the base game and what parts were DLC, aka content that could be isolated, very poorly. What do I mean by that? So let's take, for example, the stages and how they implemented those. So for what I saw, there was it was about 30 packs of different DLC, I mean, in terms of how they broke up the content. The thing is that what I saw is that the stages were through 10 through 12, which doesn't make a lot of sense, because in order for you to play anything, uh-oh. I don't remember. Punch. In order for you to play anything, you need a stage. So it seems like the isolation of everything going on here doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of how they broke it out. Not only that, they put blame on Steam, but even if Steam is culpable in this, my issue is that regardless of that situation, you as a developer need to test the implementation of that. You should have been able to test the download of this. Sure, it may have not worked for people in certain situations, but you know, you should have been ready for something like this. And in particular, you should have had somebody ready on the midnight release when something went wrong to respond to it, which it didn't seem like you did, which is sort of, again, problematic. All right, sorry about that. We're back. The last part of the recording for the the third attempt was corrupted, and I liked the first portion of it, so I'm keeping that and sort of continuing on from here. So I apologize for the abrupt cutoff, but there are some elements that I really need to still talk about here at this point. So we're gonna go with Cage and Shinnok here. Let's talk about the DLC controversies here. Now, Mortal Kombat has had a lot of DLC. They've got the Combat Pack. They had Goro as a pre-order day one DLC, which I think is the worst of them. But there are other elements too. It was recently revealed, and it's not confirmed yet. I can't confirm it at all. Regarding the coins that you can earn to unlock content in the crypt. Now, the crypt is this sort of, you know, unlockable section where you can unlock new fatalities, costumes, concept art, things like that. But it was sort of revealed that, unfortunately, there was the rate that you earn it in game, which is, you know, you can earn it in some ways, such as, you know, playing single player, playing through the story mode, basically anything that you did in terms of gameplay. It was sort of lowered after the initial period, which doesn't seem like it's that problematic until you learn that there's a DLC associated with it regarding unlocking all the content in the crypt for $19.99. And then people are like, wait a minute, did you lower it so that more people would get frustrated and maybe just unlock it from the get-go? And that is a legitimate complaint, especially because of the timing of it. It happened a week before. Now, one may argue, well, wouldn't they want to do that beforehand? Like, you know, set that beforehand? Some are arguing, well, the reviewers wouldn't be able to unlock things in a reasonable amount of time. My counter-argument to that is, well, wouldn't you just give the reviewers that crypt pack at that point? It's not like they would have to pay for it in that case for those pre-sections, most likely, unless if they're really trying to get, you know, money out of things, which that would just seem crazy to me. But hey, you know, I've seen worse. There's the easy fatalities as well, which you pay like X amount of money and you get 30 easy fatalities. And an easy fatality is something where instead of the button presses like you see here, like the left, right, X, you could just hit one button and then or hold one button and hit another button to activate it, which is, I have less problems with that, honestly. It has accessibility. It's just the fact that the microtransaction exists at all that I'm more problematic with. It's creeping more in the AAA games nowadays, and it's more of an industry problem more than anything else that I'm having issues with. You know, these games are $60 as it is, and you can say that may not be enough for costs. Yes. I would take a look at your spending habits more than anything else, more than charging the consumer more, just because there's so much that you have to do at this point. I already think I already did this fight, so I'm not sure if I want to do that again. But, oh, hey, speaking of which, this is the one that I have more problems with. Goro was a day one DLC beyond a pre-order, so you could get Goro if you pre-ordered the game. That I have a bigger problem with, because Goro was done. He's a fan favorite character. People were going to want to get him. To lock it behind a paywall is absurd to me. That is the money grubbing that I have issue with. That just seems unnecessary. It changes gameplay, and it works off the wants of your users in a negative way. You're not applying something new. You are giving them content, but it's content that you had done already. So I just don't see why you would want to do that to your consumer base. And that's just, to me, that's indicative of where the industry is right now in AAA gaming. That's why I prefer indies at the moment, honestly. I don't feel like I'm getting taken aback from a lot of indie titles. Some of them have that problem, I admit that, but not all of them. And it just seems like that in the AAA sphere, it's just more problems more than anything else. I hope that the industry can realize that, you know, your consumer base is getting really annoyed with some of this stuff, and in particular some of your actions. I am really afraid of where the industry is going monetarily, and if there's going to be a crash, it's going to be things like that where people are just going to get fed up. They're going to get tired of things, and I don't know. I don't think the industry will crash as of yet, but, you know, it's not. There is something to say about the consumer and not wanting to be screwed over and over again. And let's see if I can do this. Oh. Ooh. Well, I don't think that's how you're supposed to do, you know, the like sort of, you know, meditation, medical. I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. But, okay, so that's where I am. I know this is a different video, guys. I'm sorry for the lack of content at this point for today. I am working on a video over for Tech Raptor that is a little bit more involved. It's more of an opinion piece, and it's taking a lot longer than I had at this point. Then again, there wasn't a lot of good games out today that I really want to take a look at. So I will see you all later. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. I'm all over the place today. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a chance, leave some feedback and comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. This is Dragnix signing off, hoping that gaming brings as much fun to you as it does for me.